Good afternoon, everybody out there in internet land. Welcome to a special video. And this video is going to be a horror tag Q&A. I was tagged by the lovely Miss Ashley over at the Movie Oracle, and basically just gave us a list of horror movie related questions for us to decipher and to really we got deep into this. We really thought about these picks for a long time before deciding on them. But we got them, so without any further ado, we're going to go straight into it. So the first one was favorite standalone slasher, meaning nothing with a sequel, nor a remake, franchise, or shit like that. So, Brittany, which one did you choose?
I picked Triangle.
Why Triangle?
It's just a good movie. You don't see many good psychological thrillers out anymore.
I mean, it's the only movie that Liam Hemsworth was actually a decent actor in. What are you doing? Why did you unplug our lamp?
I thought the power went out for a second. You fat ass.
No, I looked at him and he just had the guiltiest. He had the guiltiest look on his face. Go play with your bag elsewhere. The only movie that Liam Hemsworth is worth a damn in. I thought I had the movie pegged out from the beginning, but then it didn't.
It's not predictable. I don't think it is. You have to watch it like 3 or 4 times.
I mean, it's low budget, but it's like...
For being low budget, it's still pretty good.
Yeah, like I dismissed it, and then I started thinking about it, and I'm like, shit, this movie's actually got a little bit more going for it.
Mm-hmm. And it's got a lot of Stephen King references in it, too.
True. Like
the drawing in red lipstick on the mirror, and then I think the room number was the same. I forget what
237?
Yeah. The room number for her room on the ship was 237.
I mean, I don't think the kills are particularly great, but like when you find out who the slasher is and why,
the concept is what makes it.
Yeah, and it's different than
and then
other slashers.
The way they throw little things throughout the entire movie that you're not going to get until you either rewatch it or you're paying really close attention to where they tie up in the end.
Yeah,
I think that makes it not a masterpiece, but worth mentioning.
All right, favorite standalone slasher for me is recent. It Follows. Because, good lord, it's one of those things like, if you tell me the plot about, an STD demon that goes around hunting people, and the way it kills you...
STD, sexually transmitted demon.
The concept is ridiculous, but the execution is done so well that it fits like a Carpenter movie, but at the same time it also feels weirdly personal. They kind of use the city of Detroit as a character in the movie to showcase decay and change and growing up sort of thing. So it's slightly a coming-of-age story about the director's home city, and it's also about how your sexual identity can be forcibly changed. Like, chick gets, the demon to her, and the way people look at her and treat her differently. It's kind of the same corollary with, how people might look at rape victims differently. And a fascinating movie, great character study, some of the creepiest imagery and paranoia-filling, I'm pretty sure that's not a word, but fuck it, I'll take it, paranoia-filling cinematography that I've ever seen. And I saw this in the theater with the big old screen and the speakers blooming, and oh man, this movie just is killer. Next one is favorite final girl. Brittany.
Okay, so this one, I was trying to remember the name of this movie for hours a couple of nights ago, and it's really funny that we ended up mentioning it today. It's one of the ending scenes, or the ending scene in Night of the Demons.
Yeah.
Where the girl... I don't want to spoil it.
But...
There's really no way to say it without...
Spoilers ahead for Night of the Demons, the remake.
The plot may or may not be accurate, but it's been a while. I think it's a bunch of teenagers. They're going to this mansion to party.
Of course they are.
Of course they are.
Are they playing Truth or Dare?
No, oh god, no. But there's some weird force of evil harboring in the mansion, and it's like killing them off one by one, and they have to make it until sunrise to break the curse. Right before sunrise, the chick ties a rope around her waist. I think she ties it like to where it looks like it's around her neck, but it's supporting her waist, so her neck's she's not gonna die. And then she jumps out the window at like 5:59 right before sunrise. It's at 6, and she hangs there until like 6:01. And I guess these really stupid demons think that she's dead, but she's not. So like 6:01 rolls around and she like climbs up the rope, unties herself, or climbs down. I don't know, something like that, but it was cool.
That's smart as hell.
It was smart. Those demons, however, are really dumb.
My favorite final girl is Mia from the Evil Dead remake. Jane Levy plays this drug addict really fucking well. Like, when she's freaking out and shit on the bed, she throws herself all into this movie. You've got all her stuff being the demon, her ripping herself apart from the demon, she's fighting the demon, which is a copy of herself at the end, and of course she gets the chainsaw, and there's, like, tens of thousands of gallons of blood, and, like, she's badass, she's vulnerable, she's a strong actress on all fronts. It's just a complete package for me. And I have a super crush on Jane Levy. Next category is favorite slasher mask.
So mine was the mask that the guy from Jeepers Creepers wears. Just something about taking pieces of your... it just grosses me out. He takes pieces of his victims and makes his mask out of their flesh and the eyeballs, and that's disgusting.
He's creating it in God's image.
That's disgusting.
I'm gonna go with the good old classic Michael Myers Halloween mask. I love that mask being pure white. Whenever it comes out of the darkness, it kind of looks like a ghost coming out of the darkness too, and
It's iconic.
True, it very much fits with that character and why he is the embodiment of pure evil. It's pure, it's white. There's no really distinct characteristics. It's not like the hockey mask.
And it's not overdone. Like, you know what it is. There's nothing else to be said.
Exactly, and you don't have to explain it. You can, and it's not terrible. But the fear of Halloween is that this thing is otherworldly while being here on Earth, and it's coming to kill you. You cannot reason with it. And just a lot of what Carpenter could do with the cinematography of that movie, based with the shadows off of the mask, I just adore it. Next one, we have favorite slasher kill. My favorite slasher kill, it might not be the goriest or the most fun, but it's the one that stuck with me because it's one of the first horror movies I saw when I was a kid. The puppet scene from Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors. This kid, he's asleep, and then Freddy comes in his dream and starts, like, slicing his veins open and, like, drags him up like a puppet master. And so, in the real world, you just see the kid walking, like sleepwalking. I think that's his problem, he sleepwalks. But he's being dragged by Freddy, and so he leans him up to the top of this window in this tower, and so you see this giant superimposed Freddy, and with his claw he's like, ha ha ha, and like cuts the strings and makes the kid fall out of the window and kill himself.
Can I change mine?
Wait, what?
Oh god, you reminded me.
What's yours?
That's... okay.
Are we talking about Boogeyman 2?
Boogeyman 2.
Yes!
So my biggest
Get
fear
it!
is bugs, like, crawling through my ears or my
Crawling
nose. This one chick is there for self-harm, and she, is...
Katara from Avatar The Last
She ends up
Airbender.
strapped to the bed, and then all of a sudden you see, like, little maggots coming out from inside of the cuts.
Yeah.
And then she, like, freaks out, because who wouldn't freak out when there are maggots coming out of your veins? So she starts, like, clawing at her wrists, and you can see the veins coming out, and it's just, oh god, it's disgusting, and it's horrifying. You just see bugs coming out of the cuts. Ugh.
Next category, after we stopped obsessing over how cute our cat is. I mean, do we ever stop?
Right now.
But favorite horror movie setting. And this took me a little bit.
Didn't take me long at all.
What's your favorite movie setting?
Jason X. It's Jason in space. Like, that's pretty cool, even though the movie sucked.
My favorite is the ballet school from Suspiria.
I didn't see that.
You haven't seen Suspiria?
No.
Suspiria is awesome. It's
Have you seen Jason X?
I've seen parts of it. I was about to mention in Jason X, like, that little hologram they did on him with those girls. They're trying to bait him. So those girls are just like, let's have promiscuous sex while we do drugs.
Oh, yeah.
And then he, like, fucking bashes them with the sleeping bags and shit. The reason I like Suspiria is because the most important part, arguably, of that movie is the atmosphere, the setting. It's a Dario Argento movie, so it's high saturation, just these crystalline, beautiful, almost Catholic, like, windows and imagery, and the colors just purely popping. It's one of those settings that lends itself to you just, like, being engrossed by your watching on screen. And arguably it's more important than the characters or the story itself. Like, it's just... Even whenever the main girl is running out in the woods, there's something about the way Argento shoots those woods that just makes them kind of feel like this fucked up dream. We got 2 left to go. Arguably, oh no.
Oh no.
Sage, there's alcohol in that. Don't do it. The worst slasher movie ever made.
Jason X. I picked him for 2.
Yeah.
That movie was a magnificent piece of shit.
Is it like whenever you take a shit and then you look in the bowl and it's just like, how did this come out of me?
And you want to like take a picture of it and send it to your significant other? You know how bad it is, but you just want to share its badness with everybody else.
Because it's so unique and
It's
how terrible
unique.
it is. Yes.
It's very unique.
My worst is The Gallows. Take a found footage slasher movie. It's 90 minutes long. About 50 minutes of it is following the point of view of the 80s bully. By the way, this takes place in 2015.
Oh god.
There's a scene that's just him in his room. You don't even see him. You're just staring at the wall for like a minute straight. And then he just jumps in front of the camera and goes, "Bah!"
Ah.
Yeah, that's what he does. That's the whole point of the scene. I'm watching some jackass high schooler fucking around on a camera. It's this high schooler that gets killed during a play where the end of the scene is him getting hung by a noose. First off, if you're a high school play, why the fuck do you build a working noose? The guy was the understudy of the main dude's dad, but the main dude's dad called out sick, so he went in his place and he got hung, and so he's going after the kid. But then, like, they're redoing the play 20 years later, again, with another working noose. This play that has rocked...
Stupid.
This play that has rocked this poor town full of, like, sadness and grief for 20 years. They're redoing it and excited to happen. And then the main dude's trying to get with the main theater girl. And so they go all the way through the end, and it turns out that the main theater girl is the ghost's daughter. The guy who was killed had a girlfriend. Apparently she got pregnant right before he died, and so like she's been kind of like either possessed or like it dutifully attached to this ghost spirit for years, and they needed somebody to, I don't know, atone for the sins of having the shits, so you couldn't go to the play that... It's terrible! Our last category here, favorite nude scene. And I'm going to go first on this one, because you've got the better one, I know this. My favorite nude scene in a horror movie is Anya Taylor-Joy in The Witch. It's one of those, again, beautifully composed. The chick's like porcelain white, but it's like complete shadow behind her, and it's her being seduced by the devil after her family's been killed, and like Anya Taylor-Joy's hot. You get to see that butt walk away as like she flies up into the witch coven and like celebrates in her new like satanic glory. And you know what? That was sexy.
So mine is not sexy,
Well,
but it's hilarious.
It is sexual.
It was the shower scene in Jack Frost, or the bathtub scene in Jack Frost. Not the Disney movie.
It's not a Disney movie.
I think Disney made a movie of the same name where like
Disney.
the kid's dad dies and gets reincarnated as a snowman or something. I don't know if it was Disney, but not that one. She's about to have sex with some dude, so she's taking like this pre-sex bath. Of course, it's got to be all sensual.
I was doing everything just short of like...
She's like massaging herself and starting to smell like roses and shit. I don't know who she's talking to. She's just like screaming into the bathroom, "Why is it so cold all of a sudden?"
No, what's great is before that, you see by her leg there's like a carrot.
Oh, and then a carrot floats up. No, it was after. She goes...
No, it's a carrot that floats up before.
It's before?
Yeah.
And then so she's like, "Why is it so cold?" And I think she like reaches and feels the carrot. She's like, "Oh." And then the bathtub water turns into snow or ice or whatever, and then out of it forms Jack Frost in his full glory. And he like pulls her arms through him, and she's frozen like in this scary snowman hug, and he's like doing this weird aggressive snowman rape thing. He's missing his carrot nose, so we'll leave that up to the imagination.
It's like if Chuck E. Cheese was giving you a shakedown, and he was just like slamming you against the wall.
So you be the chick, I'll be Jack Frost.
What?
So basically...
I'm not into pegging!
The chick's like this, pretend I made of snow, and she's like... I just feel like the fakest, like, bam, bam, bam.
Yeah,
It really sounds like somebody's just going to the mic, bam, bam. You have to go back and rewatch all of these movies.
Shout out to classic Shannon Elizabeth. We love you so much. Anyway, yeah, that's our horror tag Q&A. So, what we're going to do now is we're going to tag a couple of YouTubers to see what your answers are for these. So, in no particular order, Douglas Beamer. Dougie, go ahead and launch this one. Random Street Theater. I really want to hear Random Street Theater. He's seen a lot of, like, kind of low rent horror movies. That'll be kind of fun. LC Screen Talk. Larry. Come on, Larry. You gotta do this. Let me go with Two Awesome Men. I want to hear those guys talk about this. That'd be kind of fun. And as for my last person that I'm picking for this, you know what? Since he's not here, let's get Barnyard to do it. Barnyard, put another video up on...
Oh god, I want to hear his.
Yeah, Barnyard, go ahead. Put up your own horror tag Q&A. Figure out what you want to answer for these. But anyway, thank you all very much for watching. If you like this, like it. If you want more, subscribe. Got Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And for the next couple videos we got coming out, I've got a viewer's choice for Siren.
All around me are familiar faces.
After credits for Deadpool 2 coming next week. So, until then, y'all take care, take it easy, and have fun at the movies. Ah!